What are anti-ICE activists hiding? Independent journalist Savannah Hernandez showed up in Minneapolis to try to find out.
Oh, gosh. Hey, guys. I didn't even come here today to, try and interview.
Wait, stop. Did you just see that? A journalist literally gets blindsided and shoved to the concrete while just trying to observe a protest. This isn't a movie. This is happening in real time in our major cities. You need to see exactly how this escalated and what happened next. Look at the sheer volume of people swarming the Navy Yard. It's not just a few kids, it's a full-on mob mentality taking over a popular neighborhood. If you look closely at the background, you can see people in their cars just trapped, completely helpless as the crowd surges around them. It's wild because these are areas where people usually go for a quiet dinner or a walk, and suddenly it's turned into a chaotic scene that the local authorities can't even seem to get a grip on. You can feel the tension through the screen. Notice how quickly the energy shifts from a group hanging out to a coordinated swarm. It's that instant mob effect that social media has perfected. They aren't even hiding their faces anymore. They know the police are outnumbered and overwhelmed. When you see this many people moving as one unit, it's almost impossible for a standard patrol to intervene without things getting way more dangerous.
You people, I came here to simply observe and out of my
you don't know.
The TPUSA Frontlines reporter found out that the Stop Hate crowd is the most vicious bunch you could ever come face to face with. And the attack on Hernandez turned into a family affair. Enter the dad, Chris Ostrashoko, known on social media as the Minnesota Angry Man.
Stop touching me!
Hernandez is about 5'4" or so, and this beast with the bulging eyes appeared to violently shove her to the ground. You can't see his eyes for some reason in that, but suffice it to say, his big bulging eyes. Now,
catch the guy with the bulging eyes right there. He's not even looking at the camera. He's focused entirely on the reporter. The physical aggression is staggering when you realize she's just standing there with a mic. You can see the daughter return to the scene afterward, adding even more fuel to the fire. It's a complete breakdown of civil discourse. What's really disturbing is the environment. This is outside a detention facility, and the peaceful crowd is the one initiating the physical contact. If you watch her hands, she's trying to keep her balance while being swarmed by people twice her size. It's a predatory behavior that we're seeing more frequently against independent journalists. People are starting to fund their own private security just to cover a protest, which tells you everything you need to know about the current state of our streets. The lack of any intervention from bystanders is the most chilling part of this entire sequence.
Take a look at this intersection where it all happened, all that burned rubber, a lot of this caught on camera. The latest street takeover in LA County ending with gunfire. Hundreds sprinting for cover at 2 a.m. Sunday morning in Rosemead as bullets ripped through the darkness. 4 people shot, all expected to survive.
It's disturbing, it's loud. And then now they're shooting. It's ridiculous.
A neighbor near Del Mar and Garvey, too afraid to show her face on camera, says the noise and gunfire woke up her family. What do you think about having this happen so close to home?
I'm moving.
Really?
Definitely.
I just saw the police car, block.
Nearby workers stunned as authorities checked businesses for surveillance video and clues. Last month, crowds smashed windows and stormed into a luxury apartment building. Steps from Crypto.com arena, one person stabbed.
And if you listen to the sound of those bullets, that's Rosemead at 2 a.m. It starts as a street takeover with cars doing donuts and ends with people sprinting for their lives. Check out the intersection. It's completely charred with rubber. This is a residential area where families are sleeping. The neighbor they interviewed sounded absolutely defeated, saying she's moving immediately. Can you blame her? When gunfire becomes the natural conclusion to a car meet, the neighborhood is gone. Look at the businesses in the background. They're all shuttered up, but the mob still smashes through. It's a total lack of respect for private property or human life. The speed at which a fun gathering turns into a crime scene with 4 people shot is a wake-up call. You can see the police tape stretching for blocks, but by the time they arrive, the main agitators are already miles away, leaving the residents to deal with the aftermath. This is a career-ending moment captured on camera. You're watching the literal resignation of a man who was, just days ago, a top contender for the governorship of California. Notice the tone of his voice. It's that legal damage control cadence. He's talking about mistakes in judgment while trying to avoid a forced expulsion vote. The timing here is the real story. He's stepping down not just because of the allegations, but because he knows the ethics committee is closing in. By resigning now, he essentially cuts off their jurisdiction. It's a calculated move to keep his benefits and avoid a public trial on the House floor. If you watch his eyes, he's reading a teleprompter or a prepared script, trying to sound sincere while the political world behind him is imploding. It's a massive fall from grace, and the speed of it is what should have every other politician in D.C. looking over their shoulder right now.
News in our politics, lead Republican Congressman Tony Gonzales of Texas has just confirmed he plans to retire from Congress. I want to go straight back to CNN's Manu Raju on Capitol Hill. Manu?
Yeah, this has been a scandal that has engulfed this congressman for several weeks in the aftermath of revelations that he had an extramarital affair with his aide. That aide later died by suicide. Initially, Tony Gonzales had denied having any sort of extramarital affair, but as the allegations were mounting, he admitted to that. Then he decided not to run for re-election, and he indicated repeatedly that he would not resign his seat from the House. But moments after the decision by Eric Swalwell, caught up in a separate sexual misconduct scandal, Gonzales himself making the decision to resign following Eric Swalwell's decision to resign. Gonzales himself saying he will step down from Congress, saying on X, saying there's a season for everything and God has a plan for us all. When Congress returns tomorrow, I will file my retirement from office. It has been my privilege to serve the great people of Texas. Now, the decision by both Gonzales and Swalwell has a couple of key ramifications, one of which is that they both can avoid a House ethics probe. Both men were facing an investigation, but now that members are no longer serving in the House, that committee, the ethics committee, no longer has jurisdiction over those.
It's not just one side of the aisle. Right after the Swalwell news, we get Tony Gonzales doing the exact same thing. This is a rare moment where a Republican and a Democrat are both out within hours of each other for similar scandals. The reporter, Mano Raju, mentions an extramarital affair with an aide who tragically died by suicide. That's a heavy, dark layer to this political story. Look at the text on the screen. He's trying to frame it as a season for everything and a plan from God. But the reality is the mounting allegations made his position untenable. He originally denied everything, but as the evidence piled up, the tune changed quickly. It's a pattern we see constantly: deny, deflect, and then disappear when the heat gets too high. Both of these guys are dodging the ethics committee by walking out the door before the gavel drops. This clip from Myrtle Beach is just pure chaos in a place that's supposed to be a vacation spot. Look at the reaction of the person filming. They're in complete disbelief as people start trashing a Walmart. It's the same takeover energy we saw in DC and LA, but now it's hitting retail stores and beachfronts. People are jumping on cars and disrupting the peace without a single officer in sight for the first few minutes. This is what happens when the zero-tolerance policies are just empty words from city mayors. The recurring theme here is the total breakdown of accountability. Whether it's a high-end neighborhood or a local grocery store, the pattern of storming an area and causing mayhem is becoming a standardized weekend activity. You have to wonder what the long-term impact on these local economies is going to be when nobody feels safe just going to the store. Our cities are changing fast. What do you think is the solution to these takeovers? Drop a comment below and hit that follow button for the real stories they aren't showing you on the nightly news.